Let's get back now to more of your election results.
California voters appear to have approved Proposition 22. This means app-based drivers in the state will likely be able to remain as independent contractors instead of employees. Prop 22 was the most expensive measure in the state, with more than $200 million contributed.
We also want to take a look at Prop 16. This was a measure that would restore affirmative action in California, and it appears to be failing right now, 56% no to 44% yes. If this does not pass, it means the current ban on considerations for race, ethnicity, and gender in public employment, education, and also contracting decisions would remain in effect. Okay, we also want to get back to the presidential election because a lot of people are wondering what is next and what we can now expect without a winner in the days ahead.
Joining us now is Dr. Michael Alvarez, professor of political and computational social science at Caltech. Alvarez, thank you for joining us this morning. First off, the president has called all of this a fraud. Do you see anything fraudulent in this process?
Well, not yet. And, as the days progress, we may see that there might be some problems. There might be issues that have arisen. I think that we should all be grateful to poll workers and election officials throughout the country because they pulled off something historic. There seems to have been historic turnout amongst a historic pandemic. I think it's truly remarkable how well our election infrastructure survived the process yesterday.
And, the ballots that are still being counted at this point, and depending, every state is different, had to be postmarked or turned in by Tuesday, November 3rd. Now, when it comes to how many days each state has to count these votes that are cast, are you expecting recounts now in every swing state that still has gone undecided? And how long could that possibly take?
And we could see it. Certain states like California do have mandatory recount procedures for close elections. We're going to see recounts. We're going to see litigation. There's going to be election contests. That's part of the process. And, I think that by the end of the day, we'll have a clearer sense for the outcome of the presidential race. Some of the races in California and locally will start to clarify. We will definitely see contests. But again, that's part of our democratic process. We want to make sure that all votes are counted and the election was conducted freely and fairly.
Do you have ideas on how to improve future election processes in this country?
Well, I think that we're going to really need to examine the model that we've used in LA County and Orange County, for example. The process of universal voting by mail, everybody getting a ballot. Obviously, it doesn't work perfectly. There were hitches and glitches along the way, but it seems to work very well in many different regards. In particular, perhaps that might have been what helped fuel historic turnout here in Southern California. It also takes pressure off vote centers and polling places. And if done well, we can actually get results on election night. So I do think that we're going to need to examine more closely the use of extensive vote by mail and absentee voting in the U.S.
Yeah, this was our first big trial for something like this. Dr. Michael Alvarez, thank you for joining us this morning on this day after Election Tuesday. We're now going to have to wait and see what happens. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.